All right. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another moment to heal. Listen, right now, I am on the mend from a cold, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. Last week, the flu just ran through my house, and so I'm very nasally. Am here with a message. I plan to deliver that to you. I do appreciate your patience. Um, Today, my plan is to talk to you guys about 3 ways that you can clear your mind, or 3 steps. And we do the steps because they can help you remember to do the thing, first of all. And then if you do the things in a certain order, you're more likely to remember and do them and not get all lost in, did I do it right, and that type of thing. Um, the focus is to simplify it here for you because this is such a short talk. But I do want to put out a disclaimer here, right now, for anyone who is healing. Your journey is personal, and the best possible thing that you can do for yourself is to explore this on your own, to ask yourself the tough questions, to meditate on it. Ask yourself before you go to sleep, because you are way more likely to uncover the answer. And when you do it for yourself, even if I was to give you everything right now, so when you do it for yourself, that you really wind up getting the impact, right? You see it play out in real time, and it just works better for you. It's almost like a cement in there. So we are gonna keep it tight though today. So we're gonna move on. That's what I'm here to talk to you about. But first, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Javon Gray, and I help folks go from letting their entire mood and attitude be dictated by what happened to them in the past to becoming the force that dictates what's going to happen to them next. What I say around my camp, what I believe, my aim, my intention, um, is summed up in this next couple sentences. But that we don't cope, we heal. And speaking of what goes on around my camp with my clients and with me, I do have an intensive coming up. The Soft 6 intensive is going to start. Actually, this is also an update. I moved it from the 4th to the 11th because of a schedule conflict from a training that I'm in. So it will be on the 11th. And I'm excited to talk to y'all about that training too. I'll give y'all more details on that later. But again, we're keeping it tight on the 11th, 3 to 5 p.m., which gives you guys a little bit more time as well. Grab that ticket. So if you are interested in the Soft 6, if you've already been following me, you know what's up. Send me a direct message. Just shoot me. I'm ready. Okay. And we'll talk about getting you signed up. There's also going to be a link with more information about the Soft 6 program coming up on the 11th of January. So that's in about 2 weeks, in the comment section for this video. So back to this, 3 ways to clear your mind situation. I want to start with why clearing your mind feels so hard. Because one of the main things that we tend to face is overwhelm. And when you are dealing with having so much weight on you all the time, it seems like if you could just let it all go away, right? Let it all not affect you the way that it does, then you would. But one of the main reasons why it feels so hard is because you really do believe that if you aren't this hard on yourself, if you don't hold it all up here, if you don't keep track of every little thing that's going on in your mind, that's going on in your world, that something bad will happen, right? Something will go wrong with your kids. You'll miss something. They'll hurt themselves. Something will go wrong in your marriage. Something will go wrong in your business. You'll go broke. You won't make payroll. You won't make enough money to pay yourself. And so, most of the time, what I'm working with folks on is how how can I how can I feel how can I tackle that piece? How can I let go of this belief that if I don't manage it all right here, if I don't keep it locked down, then it's gonna spiral out of control. Mental overload is also an issue. So busy schedules, endless responsibilities, right? They don't leave space for stillness. So not only then do you have all the stuff pinned up, but then you also have a bunch of stuff that you layer on top of that, right? And so oftentimes the busy schedule is not only coming from you wanting to cram as much in so you can get there faster or so you can get through to whatever the other side is, whatever the outcome is, but also most of the time when I see busy schedules in people's lives, including my own, it's to distract you. It's to distract you from feeling what it is that you need to feel. Another element that makes clearing your mind feel hard is unprocessed emotions. So the bottom line is that you don't have your brain in order, right? Our minds function much better. And this is our minds function much better when we have put things in order. Um, what do I mean by things? Especially when it comes to emotions and feelings, you know, the times that you felt shame throughout the day, right? Like where are you lying? I love when people show me where I'm lying. I have a coach who was like going through some of my social media posts and was like, I get that like most of this is right. Like she pulled out like 4 posts and was like, but what about this? Like this what about this is not quite true, right? And I'm like, looking at it like, okay, yes, I said it this way in order to um some of the stuff was for like client purposes, but some of the stuff was me not not owning what it was, like the direction that I wanted to go into, um, was me not showing up with the full intensity, right? In order to like shield my audience from getting the information from me in a very full and unfiltered way, right? Like, um, in that filter, you think that it is helping you, right? Like being politically correct. A lot of black folks be switch hitting, all of that type of stuff, though, equals to a lie as some you are not being authentic in how you are showing up. And when you do that, first of all, there are reasons for that, right? Like you're trying to protect something. You don't want to hurt. You don't want to be seen as the person who hurt someone else's feelings. You don't want the potential drawbacks or fallout of that. Like if somebody gets offended by something that you write or something that you say, right? That is one of the biggest reasons why even coming out on social media was more difficult for me, because I wasn't posting. I wasn't posting anything. I wasn't posting anything political. I would never post anything, not too much really specific about my life, period. I will post updates. I will post photos like, this is what it is. This is how people are doing. This is a photo of me. This is, I did this thing or something like that. But not as much of what it was that was going on in my mind. And it's specifically because of that fear, right? But it's when you do something like a live video, it's when you um, write, I don't know, all my paragraphs of posts, that you have an opportunity to show up, as unfiltered as possible. As your true self. And what I had been doing was not fully taking advantage of that opportunity, because again, there was a little bit of fear still in there, a little bit of fear about how I'll be received, and what, in terms of like what my thoughts were, and what how I viewed healing in general. And I am still in the process of owning that as much as possible. Another reason why it feels hard to clear your mind is the habit of avoidance, right? So, like, not only will we distract ourselves with busy schedules, but we'll distract ourselves with overthinking. We will apply a concept. Like, there's no reason why you see a big cloud the shape of a dinosaur, and you have to say out loud or in your mind that it's the shape of a dinosaur, something that you already know. When you start to apply your thoughts, when you start to put words to things, it is a form of, it distracts you from actually experiencing what it is that you're experiencing. And so distracting yourself with overthinking, constant thoughts, constant actions, it keeps your mind cluttered, and it just creates more things that you need to organize in order to get your mind in order, right? Every day. And then of course there's some cultural pressure. There is some pressure from anxiety um, to be busy, to appear busy, even if you ain't busy. Um, and sometimes it makes slowing down feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel like I'm unproductive, or as one of my clients will say, inefficient. So now, before I get into the 3 steps to clear your mind, I do want to remind you about the Soft 6 Self-Care Challenge that is taking place on January 11th. So this is coming up, y'all. It is a 2-hour intensive where we walk through what it takes to clear your mind. Self-care, like deep self-care, is what clears your mind. Not the, nail paint and the, you know, eyebrow plucking, you know, um, some people will shop or whatever. Those things also help to distract you. And you can still do them. I still do them, um, sometimes I do some things as a distraction, to fill time, and just because I like to do them. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that getting my nails done does not help clear my mind. I'm also doing my own nails And so when I'm doing my own nails, my mind is filled with what it is that I'm doing. So but even if you go out and have somebody else do them, um, again, it provides a good distraction. Maybe it feels good. Pedicure, massage, whatever, feels fine. Getting your hair washed, having somebody rub that scalp can feel nice. And feeling nice, especially when it feels really nice, if anything is really pleasurable to you, it again will distract you from your thoughts. But they come right back. And that's how you know that it's not something that I will qualify as deep self-care. It's not something that's going to clear your mind. Um, so instead of putting it on pause, instead of coping, um, our ideal would be to heal. And so that is what we build the foundation for in the Soft Six Self-Care Challenge. And so I'm also, as a bonus, walking my clients through a full week of daily practices that will help them to actually practice and apply the thing. Because one of the main things that happens whenever you read something, whenever you attend a seminar, whenever you're watching a live video, is that the things like you're cooking, your kids are yelling, and all types of stuff is going on, and you aren't really taking a whole lot in. And even if you do take it in, if you never apply it, it will not work. Like, it will not work for you. It won't work for you. All right, cool. So the again, I told you 3 steps to clear your mind. You can mix these up. You can try multiple things. The very first thing on the list, the first step, is about slowing down and being intentional about it. It's not, if you feel like, oh my God, I don't have the time in the day to do literally anything. If you cannot block out 5 to 10 minutes of your time to spend on this, after you use the bathroom, like, instead of scrolling through social media, if or whatever, if you can't block out 5 to 10 minutes to just be still every day, no distractions, no multitasking, no nothing, then an alternative would be for you to slow down throughout your day, So as you are speaking, right, you're paying attention to everything that is coming out of your mouth. You're paying attention. You are what is happening to people and things like that. You can still do this, um, even if you can't block out 5 to 10 minutes a day, because I have had people tell me that. However, you can also block out 5 to 10 minutes a day to just be still, focus on a grounding activity like stretching, just taking a few deep breaths. I have an app actually that is called Finch, where you kind of take care of this little character guy, and it will remind you every day to do certain activities, and you can write your own. But some of them are like, okay, I got out of the bed, I smiled at somebody, I did one thing today that I love, and like, you can make a list of whatever. One of those things could be taking some time to deep breathe. And so even if you can't do a block of 5 minutes, how many times per day can you take a deep breath? Can you do it on the hour, every hour of work? and just take 3 deep breaths. So a short time. The goal isn't to like fix your thoughts, right? They are happening for a reason. And you get to know that reason when you pay attention to them, right? When you pay attention to everything that's going on in your day, or as much as possible, at least starting out, of what's going on in your day, you will notice the patterns if you look. Your goal is to just observe everything without judgment. Okay? So that's number 1. You are taking some time throughout your day to pay attention. To pay attention and to ground yourself. Step 2 is naming the noise. So if you have, especially if you have like a lot of more recurring thoughts, if you overthink a lot, and if it helps you to write things down, write them down. You don't have to mentally name them, though. If you're not a writer, you don't need to don't mentally name the thing. If you're not going to write it, you don't need to. Don't want to start mentally naming them. If you're a writer, journal it. Write down your most persistent thoughts and emotions, and it will help you to move the overwhelming thoughts out of your head, right? At least for a moment. However, if you are not a journaling type and you ain't about to do that, the best thing that you can do, the most impactful thing that you can do is to increase your awareness, right? Is to be looking for the patterns, to recognize where they come from at their root, to have those create more questions, right? Like, okay, well, I am binge watching Netflix because I don't want to be bored. And I don't want to be bored because every time that I'm bored, I start to think about my grandmother and how I lost her, right? Or I start to think about when I was a kid and how I was neglected. I start to feel neglected again. And so getting to know yourself, getting to know what's going on with you and why, like back to the root, is really going to be impactful for you. Once you see it, you cannot see it. And I don't mean you watch it played out for a little bit. I mean, once you have seen what reality is, what is really happening, and what effect it's having on your life, you will change. Let go is the last step. So a lot of the stuff I talk about has to do with letting go. There are a lot of like breathing techniques, meditation and stuff like that that will help you to release your attachment to your thoughts, right? To the stuff that's going on in there. The most powerful thing that I have done for my own personal healing and to actually let go of things is to relax throughout the experience, whatever is happening, whatever thoughts come up. If I'm not fully relaxed and successful in curbing all of the emotions and stuff like that, then and they come back up again, right? That's how I know I wasn't successful, because I'm thinking about it again, or I'm talking about it again, or the emotions are coming up again. And so if that happens, then I don't think like, oh, I failed, or oh, I have successfully broken the habit in quite a few areas of not like creating mental stories around stuff. Instead of doing that, I just do all that I can to relax again physically. Let all of the emotions wash over me. Let everything play out however it is. The thoughts come up when they come up. My eyes see what they want to see. My ears hear what they want to hear. I feel whatever I'm needing to feel at that point, whatever comes up. That um that has been a complete game changer for me. So, all right. I um I hope that it was helpful for you to hear these things. It will absolutely be better for you to practice these things, apply them, prove me wrong, prove me right. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about what happened um, because you actually applied these things. The Soft Six Challenge, I'm swinging back around to that. But it walks you through these exact practices. They're, like I said, um, included now in the program are going to be daily prompts and activations that help you to process this mental noise and to take your break. There are guided meditations as well that will be available to the folks in this program specifically that are designed to help you create the mental space, gentle self-care habits that again will help you to shift out of autopilot and get to a space where you can actually fully enjoy the life that you are building and creating. So, um, type for me in the chat, what is one thought that keeps circling around in your mind? If it is something that you don't feel comfortable sharing with the world, then just share it with me. Just shoot it to my inbox, and I won't share it with anyone. Um, Sometimes it just feels good to release some of that. Um, if clearing your mind feels impossible to you, if it feels very much out of your reach right now, join the Soft Six Challenge for 7 days. Okay? It's 7 days of intentional self-care to calm your mind and help you find the clarity that you need. DM me. I'm ready to get started. The link is in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next week.